Hey, we're back. We're looking at Google now. So this is the last of our FANG stocks before we move on to a different type of category of stocks that I'm tracking lately. So it looks like we looked at this about a month ago. At the time, it was 91, and about a month ago, that would have been somewhere in this range. This red candle that we have here, 91. So it looks like we could have got it for a little bit less, not by much, maybe a dollar or two. And ever since then, it's gone up, which is good. Very good. It's trading somewhat sideways for the past about 6 months. The fact that it kind of stuck its head above our initial buy point of 100, I think it's likely to pull back. So there's probably another opportunity for us to pick this one up and add a few shares. Let me just kind of clear out my notes here from last time and update the date. So currently it's actually at 101, and we still have that buy point of $100 or less. Not no real trend here. It's you know I'm not sure if I mentioned this in another video. I think I said Microsoft bought ChatGPT, but I actually think it was Google who bought that. If it Let me know in the comments what happened there, but um, yeah. So this one, I guess you could say it's in a slight uptrend. Uh, it's not crazy visible, but we could theoretically mark this out. We can make this gold, just so we're aware of it. Maybe that's a little easier to see. So that gives us a few weeks, maybe a few months, just to give us some runway, see how this kind of plays out over the next couple months. But here we have the last 2 years on the screen. So again, each bar is a week. And yeah, so we're right at that buy point. I still think it's to me, I feel like it's for this one, I kind of want to say I'll wait on this one only because it has been trading sideways between 85 and 100 for again like the past 6 months. So I'm a big part of me is thinking that this one might rise a little bit more over the next week or two, but ultimately I think it's going to pull back and probably test this uptrend line, and we can probably get it again in the 90s, maybe the mid 90s as opposed to the low 90s, but I think that is likely to happen here. So for this one, I probably am going to be patient, even though it's right at that buy point. I just think based on how it's been trending that it is going to pull back. Um, of course, that's barring any like big news, purchases, acquisitions. Um, yeah, of course, we'll be looking into these. I have a stockpile of uh, videos of other people's research that I'm hoping to get caught up on over the coming weeks so that I can get more in the know of, this company and many of the others that I'm following. But again, just with the limited knowledge that I have today, that's kind of how I'm seeing it. That yes, it's a good time to buy now, especially when you're looking uh, months and years down the road. It's just in the very short term, intermediary term of like the next month to 2 months, even the next quarter. I think there's going to be at least one, if not multiple, opportunities where this one pulls back with into the 90s, and we can add to the position at those low points as opposed to now and watch it kind of bounce up and down between the 90s and the 100 and back and forth a couple times. I think that's how it's likely going to kind of uh, play out over the next couple months. So why add at the high points when you can get it at the low points? That's how I'm seeing it. Um, Again, the low points probably won't be as low, like whenever we bought in at like 91. We might not be able to catch it again at 91 in the short term, but maybe like a 93 or a 94, which is still better than 100 or more. But again, it's right at this buy point that I like of 100, and the fact that it's slightly above. Overall, I think that's solid time to buy. It's just, again, I think this one has a very high probability of pulling back to the mid to low 90s, and at that point, hopefully we can catch it. We're paying attention at that point. That's when we can add in another share or two and build out this position at a nice price for us. Uh, but yeah, that's really all I'm seeing with this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Otherwise, here we have it. I'll mark this one green because I do think it's at a decent price. For me, I'd be willing to wait on this one. So maybe I'll mark this one orange just because, again, I think it's going to pull back into the 90s, preferably the mid to low 90s, and that's when I'd like to add into this one. So yeah, just let me know what your thoughts are. But otherwise, this is the updated chart currently at 101. It's right around that buy point of 100. So by all means, I think it's a decent time to buy. I've seen other opportunities, and even in the FANG stocks, it looks like Amazon and Netflix are uh, better opportunities, at least in the very short term, that I'd be willing to add that. But I really like Google. Google is one of my favorite companies, so um, hopefully I have some resource available to add into this position over the next week or two if it can pull back into the 90s. But again, let me know your thoughts, and otherwise, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.